At the far end of the map, Patagonia looks unreal. Clouds shaped like UFOs hovering over knife-edge peaks, waterfalls that blow upward, lakes the color of liquid turquoise, and a glacier so blue it seems backlit from within. Tonight we're not doing a travel reel, we're decoding why this place looks like science fiction and discovering the simple physics hiding in plain sight. Start with the sky that fools pilots and photographers alike. Over the Andes you often see lens-shaped flying saucer clouds stacked in smooth pancakes. They're not rare accidents, they're the signature of mountain waves. Westerly winds sweep in off the Pacific with almost no continents to slow them, hit the Andes, and are forced upward. Like water flowing over a submerged boulder, the air overshoots, sinks, and oscillates downstream. Where the rising parts of that wave reach the level where moisture condenses, you get a stationary lens of cloud. Stationary, even though the air within it races through at highway speeds. The result is a cloud that sits in place and reforms constantly while wind screams past. Sailplanes come here to surf those waves into the stratosphere. Airline pilots detour around the invisible rotors beneath them because the rotor's rolling air can slam a plane like a pothole in the sky. Now the wind you can feel on your face. Patagonia sits in the furious 50s of latitude, where circumpolar westerlies blow almost unbroken around the world. That global belt is a conveyor of momentum, fewer landmasses, fewer breaks. When that wind piles onto steep terrain and narrow valleys, you see a trick that looks like a camera gag, waterfalls flowing upward. It isn't magic, it's momentum and drag. As sheets of water fall, they thin into spray, and the horizontal wind loads that spray like a sail, flipping it back up and over the cliff lip. On the right day, in Torres del Paine or near the fjords, a vertical river turns into airborne ribbons streaming inland. The same wind sculpts flag trees, beeches that grow with a normal trunk, but branches swept leeward like hair in a gale. A living wind rose. From sky to ice. The famous blue of Perito Moreno and the other outlets of the southern Patagonian ice field is not dye, not reflection from the sky. It's selective absorption. Pure ice absorbs red light a tiny bit more than blue. In thin ice you never notice. In thick, compacted glacial ice, bubble poor with crystals stacked and healed by pressure, the red light loses a little more energy on every pass, and the blue survives. That's why the deepest crevasses glow electric cyan, and why broken bergs can show zebra stripes. Clear layers, formed under pressure, refreeze alongside white bubbly layers created near the surface, so one band transmits blue, the next scatters white. When a tower of that layered ice topples, you get a cross-section of time in blue and milk. Those lakes that look like spilled paint? Thank rockflower. Glaciers are conveyor belts of crushed mountain. Under the ice, rock is ground to a micron-fine silt. Meltwater rivers carry that silt into lakes where it stays suspended for weeks, scattering blue-green light back to your eyes. Change the concentration and the path length, and you shift the palette from milky jade to neon turquoise. That's why Lago General Carrera, Buenos Aires Pejoe, and Nordenskjold wear such impossible colors. Walk along the shore and the hue can change hour to hour as wind stirs the top layer or a melt stream pulses new flour into the bay. The physics is the same reason glacial rivers elsewhere look cloudy. Patagonia just cranks the contrast to 11. Now for an apparent paradox. Perito Moreno is advancing when so many glaciers are retreating. The key is mass balance and geometry. Perito Moreno is fed by one of the planet's largest temperate ice fields. High snowfall upstream keeps the conveyor moving. Its snout rests in a lake at just the right depth to buttress the ice from below without letting giant bergs rip away the tongue too quickly. Every few years, the glacier's tongue reaches the opposite shore of the lake and forms an ice dam, cutting off a side arm. Water level rises behind the dam until pressure tunnels a path under the ice. The tunnel grows, an arch forms, daylight appears, and then collapse. Locals call it the rupture. It looks like drama, but it's hydraulics and fracture mechanics acting out on a grand stage, repeating a natural cycle of block, build, and blowout. Turn east, and the world flips from alpine greens to thirsty browns in a single ridgeline. That knife-edge divide is orographic shadow. As Pacific air climbs the Andes, it cools, clouds, and rains out. By the time it crosses the crest, the air is dry. Descending air warms and suppresses clouds. The west hosts temperate rainforest, dripping with lichens. Step just to the east, and you're in the Patagonian steppe. Grasses, shrubs, dust devils, and mirages flickering on basalt plateaus. The math is simple and brutal. Mountain force lifting on one side, subsiding air on the other. You can drive an hour and travel from ferns to thorn. Look down at the rock and you're seeing a scrapbook of Earth's violence. Basalt mesas tell of old lava floods. Hexagonal columns stand where thick flows cooled slowly. Striated bedrock is the glacier's signature, parallel scratches carved by stones locked in ice. Erratic boulders, granite giants sitting on sandstone flats, were hitchhikers in an ancient ice train, dropped as Thies melted. In the carving bays, bergs roll and flip, revealing smooth underskins that spent decades grinding along the lake floor. If you're lucky, you'll see an iceberg with a crystal-clear window where compressive healing erased bubbles like a glassmaker smoothing a floor. Above it all, condors draw perfect circles. With a wingspan wider than many people are tall, they climb invisible elevators of air along sun-warmed cliffs and mountain waves. It looks effortless because it is. Condors and eagles use physics you can feel with your hand out a car window. Tilt your palm and lift appears. Here the lift is big enough to carry a bird for hours. That same lift lets sailplanes ride downslope waves to heights where the sky darkens and frost blossoms on instruments. Patagonia as a laboratory for the atmosphere. Life here isn't just big, it's strange and adapted. Guanacos, wild camelids, move in family groups across the steppe, reading the wind and the horizon the way sailors read swell. Pumas shadow them. Foxes and armadillos write commas in the sand. Near the coast, Magellanic penguins dig burrows in soft soil, shuffling along tourist paths with the confidence of beings that dress better than we do. On rare geomagnetic tantrums, the aurora australis brushes the southern sky in faint curtains. Mostly, thereward for a clear night is a Milky Way so crisp that the dark constellations recognized by indigenous astronomers, black shapes in the star clouds, are easier to see than the bright ones. Now time travel deeper. Patagonia has given the world some of its largest dinosaurs. In the Badlands of Chubut, paleontologists uncovered bones of a colossal titanosaur, Patagotitan, one of the heaviest land animals known. Think of a creature longer than a tennis court, walking on columns of bone lightened inside by honeycomb supports. Fossils here are not rare accidents. Patagonia's layered sediments alternating between river plains and ash falls from ancient volcanoes are perfect for burying bones and preserving them. A little north on canyon walls, a different record, human hands. In the Cueva de las Manos, thousands of stenciled handprints overlap in negative silhouettes, reds and blacks and ochres sprayed around hands pressed to stone. The oldest of those images reach back many millennia. Between the hands run hunting scenes of guanacos and human figures with slings. It's art, but it's also a map of lives lived in fierce wind under the same stars. Culture in Patagonia carries a twist too. Tea and Welsh cakes in the middle of the steppe. In the 19th century, Welsh settlers founded colonies along the Chubut River, hoping to preserve their language and customs. Today, towns like Gaiman serve afternoon tea and display bilingual signs. The wind outside is Patagonian. The China inside whispers Cardiff. It's a reminder that boundaries on a map don't capture what people bring and keep. If you sail south into the maze of channels, ice is only part of the story. Fjords here are not simple U-shaped canyons. They're living laboratories where fresh meltwater caps salty ocean water, trapping sound and nutrients. Seals haul out on rock shelves. Kelp forests sway in green light. Glaciers shed bergy bits that tinkle like glass in light swell. In narrow inlets, katabatic winds, cold, dense air flowing downhill off the ice, can roar at sea level under clear skies. A weather trick that confuses anyone trained to think blue sky means gentle day. Patagonia's atmosphere breaks simple rules on purpose. Even the color of white snow isn't simple here. Fresh snow looks blinding because air trapped between tiny ice grains scatters all wavelengths back at once. As that snow compacts into fern and then ice, grains sinter together, air is squeezed out, and the scattering drops. That's when red absorption begins to dominate and blue emerges. If you step into a melt tunnel under the surface, the world turns aquamarine, lit like a cathedral by the spectrum your eyes keep. You are standing inside the filter, and the filter is ancient time made solid. Another oddity hides in the bamboo. Every few decades, vast stands of native bamboo, collyhue, flower at once, and then die, a synchronized gamble that likely evolved to flood the landscape with seeds. The seed pulse triggers mouse population booms. When the seeds rot away or get eaten, the mice either crash or go, looking for other food. People here can tell you which years brought Rotadus, and ecologists can connect the dots from plant cycles to predator waves. In Patagonia, patience lets you see rhythm where outsiders see chaos. Let's put the pieces together into a single picture of why Patagonia feels so intense. Start with latitude, long summer days, short winter days, strong seasonal contrasts. Add a mountain wall running north-south that squeezes an atmosphere in motion, creating mountain waves and rain shadows. Feed that wall with an ice engine that both records climate and sculpts land in real time. Pour ocean air and polar air past each other down narrow valleys. Seed the scene with species that learn to love wind and cold. Then sprinkle culture in thin lines along rivers and coasts, because that's where water and shelter and fish conspire. You get a place where the background physics is turned up loud enough for your eyes to hear. If you want to feel the physics with your body, do 3 simple things. Stand on a ridge on a windy day and hold your hand out like a wing, twist the leading edge up and feel lift appear. That's a condor's morning. Fill a clear bottle with lake water where a glacier feeds and let it settle. The rock flower falls out slowly and the color above it fades from jade to clear. That's scattering becoming transparency. Walk from a dripping forest into the steppe in the space of a lunch break. That's orographic forcing, making a climate line you can cross on foot. There's one more reason Patagonia looks unreal. Time runs at human speed here and geologic speed at once. You can watch a glacier calve and hear the thunder seconds later. You can also rest a hand on rock-polished ice that vanished before your great-grandparents were born. The wind that flips a waterfall today has been grazing that ridge for thousands of winters. The lens cloud you photograph will be replaced by another lens cloud while you're still picking focus. The place is both immediate and patient, and your brain isn't used to seeing those two together. So yes, call it the end of the world if you like. But what makes Patagonia feel like an ending is really a collection of beginnings. Air beginning a wave as it climbs a mountain. Ice beginning its journey as snowflake to blue cathedral. Rivers beginning as melt and arriving as color. Stories beginning in handprints on rock and continuing in tea houses where the wind rattles the windows. The physics is simple, the combinations are not, and the result is a landscape that looks impossible until you take it apart. After which it looks even more miraculous because a handful of rules drew a masterpiece. The next time a photo of Patagonia stops your thumb, don't just think, "I should go." Ask what the air was doing, how the light was filtered, which side of the mountain shadow you're seeing, and what powder of stone turned that water into turquoise. Then look up at whatever sky you have and notice, maybe for the first time, a lens of cloud that had been sitting over your own hills for years, and know that a piece of Patagonia's play is performing above you too. The world is full of physics. In Patagonia, it simply refuses to whisper.